Ginpachi, reviews, anime stuff. The following contains some spoilers for the first episode of Higurashi. I have to tell you this or else I'm going to get some angry people in my comment section. Oh wait, no one's there? Ha 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 ha. Speaking of comments, on Reddit somebody said, and I quote, "The Gintoki impression was really good." Bare? Who is this Gintoki? Maybe you have me confused with someone else. Ginpachi? But now that you mentioned it, this Gintoki person does look like my twin. Demo sensei, watashi wa koko ni iru yo. I don't get paid enough for this job. Sensei, watashi ga onaji koito to hitobito wa koronzuru to omoimashita? No. Sensei, hanata wa shatsu no iri wa kari wa moshita ka? No. Oh, just remembered. Never gave a rating for the previous video I made. The danger's in my heart. A rating out of 10, I give you potato chips. Anyways, today we aren't talking about romance. We're going all the way to the other side of the spectrum to discuss horror. So, what is horror? Well, according to Google, it's an intense feeling of fear, shock, or disgust. And I don't necessarily disagree with this, but when we think horror, what movies do you think of? Saw? Insidious? Dead Silence? Exorcist? Bye? There is something that all these movies have in common, which is that they all follow the same generic script, per se. The main bad thing is trying to come after the main protagonist. The main bad thing is winning until the movie climax, where the main bad thing is defeated. Add in some jump scares and some blood, and you're done. Now, there isn't anything wrong with a plot like this. It works. It's the jump scare part I don't like. It feels a cheap way to make the viewer feel that shock factor without any real effort. Like, all of a sudden my vision has changed because something has blocked it, and your body's natural response is to back away until you can fully understand what exactly has happened. In all honesty, it doesn't matter what the change is, whether it's an ugly, distorted face, or whether it's just a banana. And if you just got scared by the banana, that's my point proven. But the horror I want to discuss is psychological horror. Psychological horror, which the Wikipedia page describes as, is a subgenre of horror and psychological fiction with a particular focus on the mental, emotional, and psychological states to frighten, disturb, or unsettle the audience. Its main focus isn't to shock you or to make you jump. It's to give you that unsettling feeling, make you feel anxious, just that feeling of like something just doesn't feel right and you can't put your finger on it. For those that don't quite get what I mean, I'll give you an example. Suppose I tell you that there is not going to be a jump scare for the remainder of this video, and I promise you there won't be a jump scare. Why do you feel anxious? You're probably thinking, well, why would he say something like this? So that's a very normal response, despite the fact why is it something completely normal and truthful. I promise you. And I think this leads us perfectly into the anime that I want to discuss, which is Higurashi. Higurashi starts off as any normal isekai does. New person, in a new place, surrounded by new girls. What's not to love? The anime starts off cute, and you watch the characters enjoy themselves and spend time and bond. But midway through the first episode, we get the first glimpse of the psychological horror seeping in when the photographer dismissively mentions about a dismemberment of a person. When Kieche, the protagonist, asks Reina about this, how does she respond?
例えばさ、その工事中に何かあったとか、事故とか。
知らない。
She says she doesn't know, which is a very normal thing to say. But why do we feel uneasy? It's because the way in which she said it, what she said was normal, but the way she said it wasn't. This also happens again later in the episode.
傷害事件とか殺人。
なかった。
And now we have to question, and by we, I don't just mean the audience. We and Kieche are in the same boat. Is it the photographer that's lying, or is it the girls that are lying? And it isn't until the episode climax, when Kieche reads the magazine of the dismemberment actually happening, does he, as well as the viewer, we know with absolute certainty that it is the girls that are lying. But then we have to question, why would they lie? But as we see Reina walking towards Kieche, our realization might already be too late. I think one of the things that Higurashi does really well is that we are ignorant just like Kieche. We have the same uneasiness as he does, and it helps Higurashi with the psychological horror picture it's building. The uneasiness surpasses the protagonist and also affects us. Ask yourself the same question: if you were Kieche in that same situation, how would you react? Would it be any different? Another series I feel like comes close to what Higurashi does is Doki Doki Literature Club, but I think that game requires its own video, which maybe I'll do some other time. So tell me, what can you learn from this? You should always beat up your problems. Maybe not like that. But anyways, final rating out of 10. Baseball bat. And so, at last, we've come to the end of another video. If you want to get transferred to this school, click the subscribe button below, and I'll see you in the next class. Also, I already told you, there isn't a jump scare for the rest of this video. So, what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for some after credit scene? Oyasumi.